Ba-da-da-da. Welcome to Coco's Corner. I'm the huge one, Dave Coco from Kocosports.com, KOCOsports.com, or Kocosports.net. It's where the world comes to get gas, your home for combat sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. This is our TNA Impact Wrestling review, and as always, we ask in the comments, please put if you thought this was a win, loss, or tie, and why. Me personally, I think this is a huge win. I enjoyed this show from top to bottom. Monday Night Raw was absolutely depressing. I actually thought about stop doing reviews. I was like, I'm writing like 7 books. I got 27 fucking kids. I make more money at everything else. And I was like, dude, what the fuck am I doing with my life? It's not even fucking fun. You know, it's like, at least give me something. You know, everyone's always crying. You're so negative. You're so they have to fucking give you something, okay? You can't fucking starve someone and be like, why are you hungry? All right? I've been starving for good fucking wrestling in America. I mean, it just drives me crazy. And this was a huge win. Huge, huge win. I enjoyed this show from top to bottom. The women's match, not only does it make me proud to be a professional wrestling fan, it makes me proud to be a father of a daughter. Not once, be a star, be a diva, we're role models. Not once have I ever said, wow, I hope one day my daughter fucking tries or be's a fucking whore. No, these were 2 women, beautiful, powerful, smart women doing great at their job. These women could have weighed 800 pounds. These could have been men. It didn't fucking matter. They were not there for eye candy. Were they attractive? Of course they were. But they were there to prove that they can be the best at what they do. And it just absolutely delivered. The only part that bothers me about this, there's one thing, one negative, and, well, 2 negatives. One that's TNA's fault, and one that's our fault. We always say it's okay to be a passionate fan. But we don't say it's okay to be absolutely delusional. You can't be delusional on this. And where the problem is, TNA's been out for 11 years. And everyone screams that TNA is better than WWE. And that's just not true. Except for in February. Give me a second. In February, TNA hasn't been best since, sorry about that, TNA hasn't been the best since February and since going to New York City. If you're like, oh, TNA is way better than WWE, and you've been saying this for 11 years, yeah, on and off, but you can't be so delusional that that's all you do. Because here's the problem. TNA's been out for 11 years. They've had some ups and downs. And right now is an up. But the problem is, all these TNA fans say everything is great. You're not going to win anyone over. You have to be honest when it's bad, because then when it's good. And I bring this up a lot because no matter how much we say tonight's Impact Wrestling was amazing, and it was way better than anything WWE has done in months. It's been way better. The February lockdown was absolutely horrible, and it went downhill again. But it was absolutely fantastic in England. It was absolutely fantastic in New York City. Now, you have to be honest. You have to be like, hey, dude, you have, especially if you're reviewing, especially if you're a fan, you have to be honest and be like, hey, when a bag of shit's a bag of shit, you got to call it a bag of shit. Because if you don't, the problem is we've been out for 11 years. Well, not me, but TNA has been out for 11, 12 years now. And you've been saying it's been absolutely great when it hasn't. Now, we're crying wolf. Right now, this week's Impact was amazing. In New York City, it was amazing. In England, it was amazing. The month of February was amazing. The month of August was amazing. But if you say that, then you're being honest. But if you're like, oh, it's always better, you're not doing anything. Because how many people, as TNA fans, that you go and you're like, wow, you need to watch TNA, it's good. And you just hear, oh, not this again. This is where 11, 12 years hurts. When you praise them for being great, like they were great tonight, and if they shit the bed, you have to tell them they shit the bed. Because then Impact will be like, well, our fans liked it, a portion of our fans liked it, and It's just not true. It's not good. You have to be honest. You have to know what you want. And Impact is delivering what we want. It just scares me. I hope the ratings fucking rock. I hope Spike TV does good. Because what scares me is me coming on here going, Impact was absolutely fucking amazing. And I talk to so many wrestling fans, so many wrestling journalists, I'm using the quote marks. I talk to so many people that their passion is pro wrestling. They're not giving Impact a chance. And it's because not me, it's because certain TNA fans have said it was absolutely awesome when it wasn't. And we have to be honest about Impact. Right now is great, but go to all those WWE fans. Go to those fans that gave up on Impact and tell them it was great. They're just not going to fucking believe you. And that's the thing. So please, if TNA sucks, you got to call them out on it. If TNA is awesome, you have to call them out on it, and you have to know what you want. This is what I want from a pro wrestling company. This was amazing. This was awesome. I just hope the eyeballs come in. I read something where New York City, they did not sell that many tickets and had to move people up for this show. That's scary as balls. That's really scary because New York City, population-wise, if you can't sell at the Manhattan Center and you got national television, you got problems. So hopefully people they finally put on a product. If TNA was 1 week old or 2 weeks old or started in New York City, this would be the best product in the world and everyone would be jumping on it. You only have 11 years of heartbreak to fucking shake off. So I hope they do it. I really do. I thought this was a huge win. Absolutely. The only other complaint I have, let's get the negatives out of the way, is they made the titles seem worthless. The opening promo with Samoa Joe and Bobby Lashley, who's the toughest in the company, as soon as Samoa Joe said it's not about the titles, me, as a huge, old-school, titles should mean everything IWGP type fan, yeah, I was like, what the fuck do you mean titles mean nothing? Like, it just rubbed me the wrong way, and it just took away from it. You could have got someone else that wasn't the X Division champ to run this. You could have had an MVP saying, hey, we're not putting the title on the line tonight. You could have done anything. But the fact that the hero, the good guy, Samoa Joe's like, the titles don't matter, being tougher matters. It's just like, what the fuck did you just do? And some fans can look past this. I assure you, some fans will be like, I don't see a problem with it. It's only a prop. Listen, the Super Bowl is only a fucking trophy. The Stanley Cup is only a cup. The Piston Cup is only a cup. But it means fucking everything to everybody. That's why they go after it. Saying that, oh, these don't matter is such a fucking... It just crumbles the illusion. The illusion, the delusion, the universe, whatever you want to say, the show, it just crumbles it down. It's like, oh, well, I guess the titles don't mean anything. I thought that was the only real negative I could say about this show. And then at the main event, they kind of mentioned it again. Like, they're saying about the titles, it's about being the toughest. All right, great. You just made something that could have been the UFC championship, the IWGP title, the Super Bowl, the everything that matters to you means nothing now. You would rather be, it would be like saying this, I don't want to go for the UFC world title or the UFC heavyweight championship. I want to fight in the backyard with fucking Kimbo Slice. It's like, why the fuck would you do that? Why? And it's the only negative. It's going to get positive from here, kids. But the only negative is, dude, the titles have to mean something. The titles have to mean something. Being the toughest in the yard, no one gives a shit. Like, example, you see people all the time, like, I don't know, I used to hang out at a fucking really sleazy bar a lot. But you'd see people all the time be like, I'm going to go beat up that guy. He was Golden Gloves. Who gives a shit? You just fucking got drunk and beat someone up. He's a Golden Gloves boxer. You can never take that away from him. The title should be more than a pee-pee contest. It should be more that... It's just like, if the titles don't fucking matter, then what the fuck is the point of the whole goddamn universe, the whole goddamn show, the whole goddamn world? You know, like, in every aspect of storytelling, even simple video games. If you're a video game guy and you're playing Legend of Zelda 1, the greatest Legend of Zelda, I may add, Legend of Zelda 1 on NES, and Link comes up to the Triforce. He's like, it's just a fucking triangle. I'm glad I beat Ganon. It's just, no. The fucking prize has to be the prize. The prize always has to be the prize. All right? No one goes, I don't really want my Super Bowl trophy. I just wanted to prove I could beat the Patriots. No one does that. No one does that. Do not fucking ever do that again. Bad TNA. Bad TNA. Now let's talk to the positives. Let's break this down. We might go a little bit out of order, but here we go. I'm just going to go with what I want to talk about the most and then save the stuff at the end. The one thing I want to talk about the most, it made me proud to be a father. It made me proud to be a pro wrestling fan. It made me proud to say, you know what? I watch American pro wrestling to my Japanese friends. I do live in Tokyo, and it made me proud. I can show this. I could show this at the local pro wrestling bar. I could show this to my daughter's judo class. I could show this to anyone who's not a wrestling fan and not be embarrassed. WWE, please learn. Gail Kim, Taryn Terrell, take my fucking money. Just take it all. All right? If there's a Gail Kim shirt that doesn't make me look too Fruity Loopies, I will fucking buy it. Gail Kim beats Taryn Terrell to retain the TNA Knockouts Championship. Fuck the Divas. Fuck Stephanie McMahon. Fuck the Bellas. This was fucking women's professional wrestling that wasn't boring. I am so happy. I am so proud of both these athletes. And you know what? I hope the ratings spiked. I know they got two things trending. They got the match trending, and they got, I think, not better than the Divas trending. And yeah, this is way better. And a lot of times when I say, oh, is it way better? I'm always like, well, it's way better except AJ Lee. Oh, it's way better except Paige. No, fuck that. This match was the best women's match in mainstream American pro wrestling. End of story, period. No asterisks. No fucking asterisks when it comes to top level American pro wrestling on national television. No one is better than this. Gail Kim beat Taryn Terrell. If you watch one match only, this is the match. Might be match of the week. If they gave it more time, possibly match of the year. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed it. I thought not once was I fucking embarrassed by this. All right? Every women's match on WWE, I'm a little bit embarrassed of. Like AJ Lee, Paige, I'm embarrassed because they don't give them enough time. The Bellas, come on. Who's with me? I honestly fucking, I don't know. I know this is bad, but I'm going to speak from my heart here. When people say I like the Bellas, I just think less of them. I'm talking to even my co-host Rob. Like, if we meet in person and be like, wow, I really like the Bellas storyline, I'm like, all right. Well, he's not a real man. Can't put him in the fighting hole with me. All right, yep. Yeah, you like the Bellas? Yep, great fucking shit. Fuck you. But yeah, better than Stephanie McMahon, better than anything. And you know what? I'm just happy that women athletes could fucking show that they could be the best. It was absolutely awesome. And to me, it was just a great match. They were going at it. The only knock I could give on this match was commentary. Like, these girls are busting their ass. And Tazz is like, do you want me to tell you the time I got my dick stuck in a toaster? No, Tazz! Shut the fuck up! That's what we want you to do, Tazz! Let fucking stupid-ass TNA call the action and shut the fuck up. No one cares about Tazz's dick in a toaster. But besides that, awesome. Awesome match. Another awesome match that came up, low-key, super over, wearing the Gracie patch. I saw that. Mad props, low-key. Homicide beat Crazy Steve, DJZ, low-key, Manic, and Tiger Uno to become the #1 contender for the X Division match. I thought for sure low-key was going to get this. I thought fucking for sure, but Homicide gets it. So Homicide versus Samoa Joe will probably happen, and hopefully it brings in a number. I just don't like the fact that we'll get to the main event. Oh, fuck it, let's talk the main event now. Fuck it, we're going out of order tonight, kids. I apologize. So it was a pretty decent match. It didn't beat out the women's match, but it entertained me. The match that we talked about, the main event, we'll go out of order. Lashley, Samoa Joe, they went at it. I don't like this because it makes the X Division look weak. It makes the titles look weak, and it see who's the toughest. They did a great job advertising his Bellator fight, and I wonder, there's a part of me, and you can please put this down in the comments, what happens, do you think, if Lashley loses his Bellator fight? Do you think they just give the next challenger the belt? I wonder. It was a very, I don't know, I don't want to say slow match, but a very let's hide the Lashley's weakness match. And TNA, whoever's calling the Lashley matches, are doing a real good job at hiding his weaknesses. They're not bad matches, and they're not slow matches. They are matches designed to hide Bobby Lashley's weaknesses. Bobby Lashley does defeat Samoa Joe, but they do have Kenny King do a run-in, and it takes 2 finishers. So as far as, they're fucking ruining Samoa Joe again. I don't think that's the case. I just think it was why I mentioned the titles. But Lashley does defeat Samoa Joe, and he'll be taking on the #1 contender, which MVP was trying to get a little bit of heat. It's a very... Kurt Angle said this on Twitter. This match, the #1 contenders match, is a very great old-school wrestling match. A great technical old-school wrestling match. And you know what? One thing I love about Eric Young is he's so good at selling. So good at selling. Like, you just look at him like, oh my God, he's dead. Someone revive him. He's just so good, you know? Bobby Roode does defeat Eric Young to become the #1 contender, and I kind of leave that question now. If Lashley loses at Bellator, because he supposedly has a scheduled fight, does Bobby Roode just beat him right away? And if he does win, I mean, do you think... I mean, all right, here, I guess this is how I can phrase the question. Do you think Bobby Lashley's match or fight at Bellator affects his title? Do you think if he wins, it's a lock that Lashley's going to beat Roode, or do you think it just doesn't affect it either way? I find it to be interesting to see where it goes. But yeah, Bobby Lashley defeats Samoa Joe, and Bobby Roode defeated Eric Young in a very, very classic, traditional, busting-your-ass wrestling match. So there you go. And then the only downfall I could say about this show, and I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. I think maybe other people are feeling it. Bram and Magnus defeated Sam Shaw and Gunner. There's a storyline with Sam Shaw. He wants to protect Gunner. Some fucking knockout in the back. Like, I don't fucking know. I've watched every Impact, and I just don't give a shit about this storyline. I just block it out. I love Samuel Shaw when he wrestled on Vintage. I root for Samuel Shaw because he came from the Florida Indies, and that's where I helped promote and ran a ton of shows. So it's kind of like rooting for someone from my hometown. Gunner, me and him had the same exact MOS, that means military job. He was a machine gunner. I was a machine gunner. He looks like $1 million. I fucking am an old crippled man. But I did outrank him. The old crippled man did outrank him. Like, come here, you boots. I'll probably get my ass whooped by Gunner. But, you know, the Semper Fi thing, and I really think Gunner's really improving. Magnus, I know he hates the internet, but I thought he was the most improved wrestler in TNA history, and now it's like, take a back seat to Bram, and I'm not buying Bram at all. I see Bram as the guy who ruined Magnus. I don't know if Magnus is injured. I don't know what the fucking deal is. But Magnus, champion, main eventer, look what happens. Now, hey, dude, go fucking see your buddy Bram. I don't fucking get it. I don't know where it's going. I like 3 of the 4 guys. I just don't see... I do not enjoy Bram at all. I don't see the point of Bram. I don't fucking see... I look around. I'm like, what? Is he good? What's going on? Why is he here? I do enjoy Magnus. I am rooting for Samuel Shaw and Gunner for kind of personal reasons. One guy came up through the Indies and could actually wrestle, and the other, Semper Fi. In the Marine Corps, they're just like, if there's a machine gunner and he wrestles on Wednesday night, you gotta cheer for him. Like, Semper Fi, yes sir, yes sir. But, you know, it's cool to see one of your own fucking make it. So there you go. Next week they will have an Army veteran who lost his leg. He'll be premiering, and they were pushing the hell out of it. The one thing I do like about this, A, it's cool that they're giving a veteran a chance. B, they advertised the Dudley School, which I thought was cool, and they told a great story. And 3, one thing that TNA doesn't do that they did well on this is like, well, we have this war hero. He's going to premiere next week. Make sure to be there early because it's going to start. I thought that was great, putting him right in the beginning, telling fans they have to be there on time. It's something so small but it's one of those small things that TNA has forgot that sometimes, you know, when it comes to marketing, TNA has really dropped the ball on marketing-wise. And Dixie Carter allegedly comes from a marketing company. But anyway, this I thought was something good. I was like, oh, I want to see this. I want to see where it goes. Oh, I have to be early. Okay. And granted, I always am early, but it's the first time that I was like kind of motivated. Like, whoa, I can't sleep in. I sleep in because I live in Japan. But I have to be there. I thought it was a great way. One thing I forgot to mention about the Gail Kim Taryn Terrell match, I'm sorry I'm mispronouncing her name, is Havoc appeared. And they did a great job advertising, building up to her, and they made her look really strong, and it kind of rebuilt it. So I was kind of happy about that. And you know what? I like to see where this goes. I enjoyed all of it. Usually, though, ever since, this is just my opinion, ever since Awesome Kong, they tried to replace Awesome Kong or Amazing Kong with, or Karma, depending on how you know her, with another monster, and the monster has always failed. I thought they should have gave Alpha Female a lot longer. I don't know what the situation with Alpha Female is. I know she's touring in Japan a lot. I thought they should have gave it to her a lot longer, but now they have Havoc coming in as the monster role. Even though most people knew, most, I guess, internet/smart fans/indie fans/women's wrestling fans knew who she was, I thought the lead up to it was good. You know, a lot of people thought it was going to be a man, that the ones not in the know, and I thought the lead-in was pretty good. I thought her appearing at the end, destroying two people after they had a great match, I thought everything was good. It just scares me because every time they have a female monster since Amazing, Awesome, Karma, they really screwed her up. So I hope they don't screw her up. But I'm very interested to see what Havoc can do. I'm glad Gail Kim's still the champ, and Taryn Terrell, just, man, I thought you were a diva, and you're not. You're actually a women's wrestler. So, man, I can't put that match over enough. So, yeah, Havoc does come out. I don't know how the crowd reacted live. It was kind of mixed, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for television, so it was pretty decent. I'm trying to think of any other storylines. Oh, they had another one with bromance, and they were going on a blind date, and it happened to be the Beautiful People. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cute, funny. Like, I was like, all right, I got it. Like, it wasn't embarrassing. It wasn't something that my pro res heart is like, what? Every fucking thing should be Okada Tanahashi. It didn't impress my pro res heart, but at the same time, it wasn't embarrassing. It was kind of like cute, funny. It was like, they got a date, and there you go. So hopefully, man, the women's division looks so amazing. So let's look at that. Bam, bam. All right, we got some YouTube comments. Damn, we got a lot of YouTube comments. Hopefully it's not trolls. Trey Beam. Here, let's go through all this. Bam, boom. I didn't expect this many comments. I appreciate it. All right. Boop. All right, let's start from the beginning. All right, well, maybe not. These technical difficulties are brought to you by Kocosports and Dave's an Idiot. Trey Beeman says, winner, winner, chicken dinner. LL. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Good news, Garrett says, huge win. Only thing I didn't like was Lashley went over Joe. Yeah, I didn't like that either, and I also didn't like how the titles didn't mean anything. Mr. the King. Wow, TNA even made me not hate Bram as much as I do. Win. Yeah, I thought the Bram match was definitely the weakest. Havoc shouldn't take off her gas mask. It makes her unique. However, if she can breathe properly in it, I can understand. Yeah, in the military, I went to NBC school, and I used to be in infantry. NBC school is about chemicals and stuff. Yeah, we had to run with gas masks, and I know a lot of athletes run with gas masks to lose weight. When I ran with gas mask, you can get used to it, but you're working like 4 times the amount. We used to have to carry heavy packs and each other with gas masks. NBC school, you just learn to be with your gas mask. Matter of fact, at NBC school, when you this is kind of crazy. I'm just talking about gas mask. I apologize. I have grandpa military moments. We used to sleep in racks, so just like little bunk beds and a little dorm-like type place. And they would throw in gas masks when we were sleeping and be like, gas, gas, gas. And you have to wake up and find your gas mask. So I've lived with a gas mask when I was a young, in-shape man. And it can be done, but she will be working 5 times harder, maybe 10 times harder than anyone without the gas mask. Plus, it could be rigged to easier to breathe, because it's not like it has to actually stop gas. So, will she keep the gas mask on? I imagine not. I just imagine it would be harder, too many injuries, just too much at risk. But it does look awesome. But she could still take it off when it's time. But if she does do it with it on, even if it is a rigged gas mask, mad props to her. Trey Beeman, I enjoyed the fact that it was mostly wrestling and not over plunging of the storylines. Agreed. I enjoyed the fact that it was same thing. Mr. The King says that Havlicek was one of the worst parts. I didn't realize she was a thick girl, but on the Dyke side, I'm liking EC3 and Samuel Shaw impressed me too. Still, Bram needs to go. Yeah, EC3, I forgot to mention EC3. EC3 was pure money tonight. I absolutely love it. I love how he's teasing that he's going to take out the Dudleys, because those behind the scenes, no, that's kind of going to be an interesting storyline. And Rhino, I forgot Rhino beat the shit out of Spud. I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed the same. I like EC3. I like Spud. I like the storylines. And when people say sports entertainment, to me, that is sports entertainment. I enjoyed it. And, man, Rhino looked like his old school self. And, man, I don't know. I just loved everything about it. Like, when people like, oh, it's sports entertainment, I don't think Stephanie McMahon being a fucking jerk-off is sports entertainment. I don't think 800 people telling John Cena it's entertainment. I don't think Dixie Carter, I don't find any of that shit sports entertainment. But EC3, I find sports entertainment. So I enjoyed it a lot. All right, let's see what else we got here. We're just going through the comments. Thank you, everyone that read comments. Really appreciate it. And let's see. Boom. And as far as her being thick, that doesn't bother me. I like thick women. And plus, who gives a shit? It's pro wrestling. There's U-porn, and there's pro wrestling. Thick girls do not bother me at all. Good news, Garrett says Homicide vs. Joe is going to be sick. Yeah, it's going to remind me of the FIP/Ring of Honor days when these guys were really at it. They might have lost a step or two since then, but still, it's going to be pretty awesome. Andy Papp says, a big-time win. Everything on the show was great. I predicted that Impact was going to be better than Raw, and I was right. Dude, a bag of shit is better than Raw. Let me tell you something. Main Event is better than Raw. SmackDown is better than Raw. NXT is better than Raw. Impact is better than Raw. Explosion's better. There's nothing worse than Raw right now. So if I had one dream, I would be, hey, dude, watch Impact, watch other stuff, watch other wrestling, and do not give Vince any fucking money. I hope no one you know what I mean? I think right now, I wish I knew. Part of the Internet Infantry sent out a tweet, and I apologize, I don't know the Twitter, but he said, the real storyline, the really hot feud, is WWE and creative versus the fans. And I just hope we speak with our wallets. I don't fucking buy SummerSlam. Don't renew the network. Don't buy the fucking network. But it's sad because people worship the rich. People worship the elite. And there you go. Let's see. Mr. The King says, Tajiri is super old. Yes, he is. That's one segment I forgot to talk about. But you got the great Sonata. He's making fun of Muda, and Tajiri comes down and has. I don't know if he's super old. He's definitely older, but Tajiri's kind of a celebrity here, so he hasn't been busting his ass in Japan. They need to redo Sonata's face paint. Yes, they do. I don't know if this storyline is good or bad. I guess it depends. I find it weird that Storm is the guy training him. He's the one that, I don't know. I find that part to be a bit weird, but I'm under the impression of I love Sonata, I love Tajiri, I love Storm, I love Muda. You know, when someone says, give it time, and it's Dixie Carter, Aces and Eights, John Cena, I'm always like, fuck you, they're not worthy of giving it time. But I love these athletes so much that I'm willing to give it time. But as of right now, I'm just like, oh, fuck, this better not suck. This better not suck. LB Clash of the Kings says, this was an amazing show of Impact tonight. And I agree. TNA is giving fans what we actually want from Pro Wrestling Company. I agree with everything you just said. I appreciate it, Mr. Clash of the Kings. Good news, Garrett is back. No! Poor Spud. Yeah. Poor Spud. I don't think him and EC3 are splitting up is a good idea. No, they are comedy gold. Please. I don't even think it was hinting at that. I just think EC3 is a jerk and Spud is his little fucking lapdog. I don't think they're breaking up, but oh man, it was so, they compliment, and this is good news, Garrett. They complement each other so well and are hilarious together. I can't see Spud going. So I agree. There's no way you break those two up ever. I mean, with all the WWE guys jumping ship, contracts not renewing the originals, dude. Me personally, I would just. He would be the #1 heel. He would be the #1 heel. Right now, I'd have him a backseat to Bobby Lashley's MVP group because they have the title. But besides that aspect of it, everything would be built around EC3 being a heel. They do everything right, you know. And the best part is he just fucking handles himself so well. He's such a great wise ass, so good on the fly, great comedy. Like, you can't wrestle. I disagree. He just handles fucking being a heel so well. And even in WWE, see, this is what I like. TNA, I always bitch that you get not WWE fans, I apologize. I always bitch that you get WWE talent. You're like, well, where else can you go? And you're like, there's fucking talent all around the world, you fucking lazy piece of shit. Just look. But if you are going to get WWE guys, make them better than they were. EC3 is the perfect example of how you should handle WWE guys. He's the perfect example. Had talent, was amazing on NXT, very funny, got cut because he fucking didn't suck Triple H off in the back, and you just fucking repackaged him and did a great job. That's how you fucking use WWE guys. Not, it's Jeff Hardy! It's the Dudleys! It's Kurt Angle! It's Ken Anderson! No! Fucking no! You look like a fucking Kevin Nash, Booker. Fuck you. Get your shit together. Andy Paps. Hey, Dave, did you like Havoc's debut, and when would you put the belt back on Roode? Alright, great question. I did like Havoc's debut. There was only one part I didn't. I don't know. I have mixed feelings. The mixed feelings I have is, wow, they just had a great match, and she comes out, but then I'm like, wow, they're gonna fucking feud right away. I don't know. I liked the feud. I don't know if it was disrespectful to Gail Kim and Terrell, but at the same time, she's probably going to be a heel, so that makes sense. So yeah, I'm going to go with, yeah, I liked it. I do have some second guessing on when it was, but overall, I like it. And would you put the belt back on Roode? If I was running the company, I'm going to be completely honest with you, it would just depend what happens on Bellator. Because if he carries the TNA Championship out to an MMA event, and he wins and holds the TNA Championship above his head, it would be hard for me to take it off just because you're getting a demographic that you wouldn't normally reach. But if he loses or MMA isn't a factor at all, then yeah, Bobby Roode should be champion. Because then you can have Bobby Roode versus EC3, and just that's money in my eyes. Mr. the King, this show had something for everyone. I agree about the title. Some people do not realize important titles are, and are a good example is WWE's Legends. They cry how they never were WWE cheat, and they meant it. Yeah, and I mention that all the time. You know, it can't be a prop. It just can't be. It has to be important. And like I said, I mentioned this, and Mr. the King mentioned this. WWE Legends cry for not winning the fucking title. It means something to people. Let it fucking mean something. You know, if it's just a prop, then what the fuck is anyone fighting for? You know, I don't know. The prize should mean something. The goal should mean something. So there you go. Gail Kim and Terrell, I always mess up her name. I apologize. Taryn Terrell did indeed steal the show tonight on Impact. And that's from Clash of the Kings. Good news, Garrett says, Lashley shouldn't have come out at all in the episode except for when he stared at Roode. Instead of the Lashley promo in his match, they could have done match 2 of the tag team series. I agree, but also, I don't know, because they're kind of kissing ass to Spike TV, and Spike TV owns Bellator, and he's going to fight soon. So I think I would have had it where I would just change it around a little bit. I would have had Gail Kim be the last match of the night, then go to the back, and Bobby Roode and him look at each other. I would have kept the promo in, except I would have had Samoa Joe come out. I would have had someone that you could sacrifice more, and then just Bobby Lashley beat the living shit out of him earlier in the card. And as far as the tag team, of course, I'd love to see the tag team match. But yeah, Mr. King, Coco, I disagree. AJ sucks, and so does Paige. They just hop around and expect me to give a fuck. It's awful. Mr. the King, I agree with you to a point. It's just I've seen AJ put on good matches, and I've seen Paige work in the UK. I don't know. I still have hope. But you know what? It's kind of like Samuel Shaw. You know he could wrestle good, but if he never gets an opportunity and someone says he sucks, you're kind of like, I really can't defend that. Like, I believe in my heart of hearts, AJ and Paige could be good women's wrestlers. I just don't think what they're doing is good. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of like the Mystico thing. I thought Mystico / the original Sin Cara was amazing. You just didn't book him right, you know? I don't know. I don't know. And a lot of people are like, well, you're just blaming WWE creative and they can't get the matches up. But I don't know. I think they can go. I don't think they're as good as Terrell and Gail Kim and the Knockouts, but I think they could hang pretty good. So I got mixed feelings. I disagree with you, but I completely see your point, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Good news, Garrett. Dave, do you think Gail Kim is the best North American pro wrestler of all time? Yes. Without a doubt. Hands down, without a doubt. I am a huge Gail Kim mark. I've been a Gail Kim mark since she wore the mask down in the Indies. I would say I have a crush on her. I would say man crush, but she's a woman. I just have a crush on her. I think she's the best female wrestler in North America of all time. I can say that. I mean, you can go Molly Holly, you can go someone on the Indies, but to be the best of all time, I know this is going to sound like a dick answer, but you kind of have to be on the big stage. You know what I mean? Like, I think I was about to say April O'Neil. I thought April O'Neil was great, and Ninja Turtles. April Hunter. I think April Hunter is a really good wrestler in her prime, but she's never made it to the big stage. You can't say wrestler of all time. And the same thing with a lot of these indie girls. I mean, they got a great girl in Combat Zone Wrestling, and Shimmer's just stacked up with great girls. But to be the best North American pro wrestler of all time, North America has to know about you. And I think Gail Kim is the best North American pro wrestler of all time. A lot of people might say Lita and Gail Kim. I mean, a lot of people might say Lita and Trish Stratus. I'll just disagree. I just don't agree. You could throw up Victoria or Molly Holly, but I don't think they had the star power Gail Kim did. So, yeah, I would say that. Now, maybe I'm forgetting someone major. You know, China, I thought her run was too short to be considered the greatest of all time. So, yeah, North American women wrestler of all time, I'd say yes. I mean, you could go back in the black and white days, but even then, women are doing way more than they are now. You know, way more now than they were back then. So, obviously, the great, best, and greatest and all that is a matter of opinion. But as far as my matter of opinion, at this very second, Gail Kim is the best North American women wrestler of all time. Is the X Division back, in your opinion? I don't think it's fully black. Fully black. Oh, I'm a racist! I don't think it's fully back, but I think it's on its way to becoming back. I think 3-4 weeks. I think Samoa Joe not giving a fuck about the title, going against Bobby Lashley, that's the stuff that's like, is it really back? I think it's on its way back. I don't think it's back yet, but it's a lot better than where it was. Mr. King, Coco, when the commentators fucked up everything during the knockout match and the conspiracy might be true that WWE controls some of TNA, LOL. Yeah, I always said my biggest conspiracy theory, it might be a 9, it might be a 6, who knows? Plus 10 if you get that reference. But, yeah, I always thought that Dixie Carter is the dumbest fucking human being alive, or WWE owns TNA. That was my conspiracy theory. But yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I couldn't believe it. Especially Tazz. And today let him get away with it. Unbelievable. Mike Ashman says, this episode of Impact was a win. Simple, straight to the point, pro res. I say this as the knockout match alone was better than this week's 3-hour commercial that was WWE Raw. I would say it's better than the last month of Raws. Raws have been really bad, but they're sticking their foot down. They're like, yeah, we're the monopoly. We're going to keep paying for us. And you know what? If you pay for tickets, if you pay to watch it, If you, yeah, you know, I used to say, when, not having lost that. I used to always say that everyone has a line where they're going to spend money, and my line was, if John Cena, Randy Orton, or Dave Bautista's champion, I'm not giving WWE any of my money. Not. It's a pirate's life for me. I'm just not giving them any of my money. It's expanded. I don't think I could ever give WWE my money again. Because, dude, at the same time, they're like, we're a monopoly, we're doing great, we're going to spin everything, fuck the fans. It's a battle. And I do not enjoy the product enough to give them my money. I had free tickets to WWE's house show where Kenta signed. I fucking know. I don't even want your free fucking tickets. It has to be good. I can't be fucking embarrassed. I have an advantage over most people. I live in Tokyo. I don't have to watch John Cena if I don't fucking want to, or pay for John Cena. I mean, the only reason I even watch is because I do review shows on YouTube as a hobby. But the bottom line is, fucking eventually they're gonna break me. I might not even fucking do review shows of Raw. I actually liked reviewing, even though Raw reviews get the most views and the most interaction. I actually don't even fucking enjoy it. Like, I really, doing a WWE pay-per-view and doing a Raw review, it doesn't feel like a hobby. It really feels like a job. Where, as a main event, Impact, NXT, even SmackDown, even a weekend review, it doesn't feel like a job. Because you can talk about other shit. But, yeah, reviewing Raw feels like a job. Especially considering I'm almost done a lot of my books and I have to do a lot of work. It's really like, I spent 3 hours, then spend 2 hours, and my book is almost done. What the fuck am I doing with my life? And the problem is, it's supposed to be entertainment. You're supposed to enjoy it. I don't fucking know, dude. I enjoyed this 2 hours. I enjoyed talking about Impact tonight. The last couple times of Raw, I've not enjoyed. And people are like, you're so negative. I'm like, dude, I got shit to do. That's fucking 5 hours of my life gone. And it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertaining. It's like getting a blowjob and a bitch bites you. It's just, what the fuck? What the fuck am I even doing this shit for? Mr. The King says, if Lashley loses, they might just use that to make him destroy everyone or something. Maybe, but I think it would make pro wrestling look bad. I think it would make TNA look bad. But I understand your point, Mr. The King. Good news, Garrett. TNA should replace TNA with JR. I don't know. I'm going to get a lot of heat. I have an opinion, good news, Garrett, that is in the minority. I do not enjoy Jim Ross at all. I just don't. Now, if you said Joey Styles, I'd be on board. If you said Lenny Leonard, I'd be on board. If you said Denver, Colorado, I'd be on board. But JR, I've never been a fan of JR. And I know that puts me in the minority. I think he's a horrible human being and not that good at commentary. I know I'm in the minority. I actually feel like the fans turning on me. I'm just not a JR guy. Today rarely ever gets hyped during the match and sometimes makes it where he's not wanting to watch the match. I think he's really good at what he does. I just think him and Tazz are a bad team. And I think they're like, we're buddies. We're just hanging out. Like, Tenay and Tazz would be perfect for my job. Being fat asses, talking shit, having great time. But having fun with your buddy, talking shit, is great for YouTube. Great for a podcast. Horrible for commentary team. Absolutely horrible. Like, a lot of times people are like, well, you talk shit on YouTube. You should do commentary. I'm like, dude, it's 2 different jobs. 2 different jobs. A million times 2 different jobs. I think they're great at podcasting. I've been enjoying Tazz on commentary since the Aces and Eights split up. Yeah, Tazz is like, I see Tazz as my drunk uncle. I hate him 90% of the time, but that 10% of the time, I'm like, drunk Uncle Tazz, I can forgive you. But I don't think he's that great. I like Tenay. I just don't like Tenay with Tazz. And if you say anyone besides JR, I'd probably be on board. I know I probably got a lot of dislikes and all. I just not a fan of JR. I am Mikey says, do you think TNA has a more legit world champion as they are not only building Lashley's TNA World Championship run, but also highlights that active fights with Bellator compared to WWE's lackluster match push to Brock Lesnar being world champion? Oh, this is a tough question. I might say this for Stump the Idiot. I'm going to have to think about it. I think Lashley's a better champion than Brock Lesnar as far as a fan standpoint, but I think Brock Lesnar brings more eyeballs to business-wise. Brock Lesnar's a better champion. But this is a great question. I'm going to have to sleep on it and bring back Stump the Idiot. All right, let me see. I'll save this. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. One thing I really enjoyed about Roode and Eric match was the finish. I think limiting a false finish makes everything better. That's a tough call. I love false finishes. I see your point, but yeah, I don't know. I guess that's a matter of opinion. I think the fact that so many big matches have false finishes, that this one didn't, it made it seem a little extra special. I agree with that. But I think, in my humble opinion, false finish matches are good. You just have to mix it in. I think if, you don't give a shit about the athletes, false finishing is bad. But if you give a shit about the athletes and the story, false finishing is a good thing. Do some companies abuse it? Yeah. But, I don't know. But I see your point. I am Mike Ashman. What would you do to build a strong product going into Tokyo? Are you talking about? I imagine he's talking about TNA, because if it was just a strong product in Tokyo, I'd be like, New Japan, done, problem solved. A strong product, they have to bring their athletes over here early. They have in Japan, they have a lot of celebrity type stuff, and the UFC suffered from it, and now UFC is like, oh, let's send their athletes early. They have to. I'm talking pure business here, pure evil business. You have to convince the Japanese people that they are special to you. You're not here just to make a quick buck. Here is Bobby Roode. Here's Eric Young. They're going to go on your game shows. They're going to go on your variety shows. They're going to come here and wrestle at Wrestle One. They're going to come here. You have to make it not look like a one-stop pit stop, because Tokyo has so much entertainment that they don't want to go to something unless they feel special going to it. I know that's kind of like, oh, fuck them, but that's the way entertainment is. So if you come here, if you're TNA, you come here, you do storylines, you hit the press, you hit the magazines, you go on all these celebrity game show type things, you'll do good. If you show up and be like, oh, Muda's there, Wrestle One, they'll save us, you'll fail miserably. So you have to make sure that people know. Now, you're bringing a huge pay-per-view and not a house show, so that's a huge, I don't know why I'm talking like you're TNA, but let's just go with that. You already got a foot up. You're like, no, this is our biggest event of the year. We're bringing our biggest event of the year here. You're in the most famous wrestling arena that only holds 3,000 to 5,000 people. I don't know the exact number, but it's not a very big. You're not daring going after the Tokyo Dome, which is smart, very, very smart. You have New Japan the same day running in the same building, so that's going to be interesting. And yeah, you just have to come here and make it feel special. You can't just show up and expect the payday, because it's Tokyo. They have plenty of entertainment. They have plenty of great wrestling. You have to bring it here like, wow, Japan, it means something to us. Tokyo is special. Oh, the arena is special. Oh, it's an honor to be on your show. You have to play that game in Tokyo. If you don't play that game, it doesn't matter how good or bad your product is. No one's going to it. They're just going to be like, oh, well, we have our own shit. Why do we have to do it? That's why, like, you guys don't live in Japan, but those that live in Japan, yeah, when a movie comes out, every actor comes to Tokyo. Every actor's like, it's an honor to be in Japan. It's so great. I'm so happy. Please support us and go check out our movie. It's way different marketing. It's just way different. You can't, and definitely don't false advertise. You false advertise, you're going to have people, they're not going to riot. This is what happens. Ask all Japan. That happened in Kamada. You false advertise, they're going to stand up all at once like it's a fucking Trump movement. Get up, go to the ticket booth, and demand their money back. They're not going to watch the rest of the show. And if you're going to be live, or if you're going to have this as a pay-per-view, you might not want to false advertise, because we're here live in Tokyo, and MVP and Charlie Haas and Hulk Hogan and Sting were advertised, but won't be wrestling tonight. You'll hear gook, and you'll fucking have an empty arena match. Do not false advertise in Tokyo. I cannot. You can't do it. You can't do it. What talent would you incorporate going into Tokyo as you focus on developing feuds with each other's World Championship, X Division, Tag Team, and Knockout? So yeah, this is really tough. The World Championship, Bobby Lashley will do fine. Bobby Lashley's perfect. Just make sure to send him earlier. He's big. He's black. He's got a good sense of humor, and he fucking respects and does martial arts. Bobby Lashley is a perfect champion for Japan. And then I would have him go against maybe Bobby Roode. I wouldn't have him go against a straight-up heel, because I think that would, like, EC3 going on the shows being like, I'm rich, I'm powerful. I think that's just a turn-off. You're like, oh, whatever, dude, I got New Japan, fuck off. But you have a respectable Bobby Roode, you have a respectable Bobby Lashley. MVP being the heel manager is okay. I think that's okay aspect. But if you have, like, EC3 and he's like, fuck, I'm going to fucking destroy it, fuck Japan, it's like, all right, we're not going to your show. You know what I mean? They're very, very like that. So I would have the World Championship. I would definitely have Bobby Lashley versus Roode. That's a perfect championship match for Japan. The X Division championship match, I would probably X Division. I would probably, let's see, probably Low Key versus somebody. Low Key versus Joe. But Joe, for some reason, Japanese people don't like Samoa Joe. I love Samoa Joe. You love Samoa Joe, and I'm using. Let me see. I'm using the base of a lot of the people I know. I go to a lot of pro wrestling events. I go to pro wrestling bars. I talk to fans. So when I say a lot of Japanese, I'm not meaning all. A lot of people see him as a Hashimoto ripoff, and I don't know why. He just hasn't shook that. But at the same time, low-key Samoa Joe I could see doing good. Tag team, you definitely need the American Wolves. I wish they still had Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels is loved in Japan. The Wolves versus anybody, really. Just make sure they can go. I definitely have the Wolves. The Wolves have wrestled in Pro Wrestling now. Maybe the Wolves versus a really tag team. I mean, if you could get New Japan guys, but New Japan hates TNA with all their fucking heart. And the Knockouts, Gail Kim and someone that can go. They don't want to see good-looking women that can't go. They have porn for that. What Japanese talent would you add for Bound for Glory that would develop a buzz? Well, you do have Muda. He doesn't draw the crowd like he used to. I know Wrestling Observer really, really was bad on Wrestle One. Wrestle One is a fifth-tier company with Muda. I don't know if I would go as far as Dave Meltzer and those guys burying Wrestle One, but it's a fifth-tier company. Muda, Tajiri, and then I would try to get someone big, but I think New Japan's just going to cut you off. New Japan really, really fucking hates TNA. Really hates TNA. Oh. Dude, the thing is, in Japan, your word means a lot, and you can be Dixie Carter, you can be Vince McMahon, and get away with it in America because people are going to forgive you. In Japan, I can't go back on your word. Let me think. I don't know, because a lot of the big names. I mean, maybe a Dragon Gate guy, get a Ricochet versus Low Key. Possibly that could be it. But I don't know. I think the biggest thing TNA has going against it is New Japan fucking hates it, and New Japan is in the neighborhood the same day. So the first thing I would do if I was TNA, go fucking kiss some TNA ass. But they already signed with Jarrett. TNA, why you fuck up all the time? I hope that answered some of your questions. Mr. the King, want to point out a huge botch, the moonsault from Eric Young, and he does it all the time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not as hard on botches as other people, because to me, if you don't have botches, then you have Randy Orton, Bautista, and Cena. And I would rather have a guy that fucks up trying something than a guy who plays it safe and I'm bored out of my fucking mind. But yeah, sometimes people repeat the same botches. Like one guy that I love, and that he's not a good wrestler, but I love the entertainment aspect of him, is Bo Dallas. I think Bo Dallas botches his finish too much. Good news, Garrett says, Magnus needs to get repackaged as the way he was before he got the title. He was kicking everyone's ass. His match at No Surrender with AJ Styles was sick. His title run made him look like a pussy where he didn't win clean once and took 100 people to beat Sting and AJ. I don't know why, but I like Bram. All right, so I don't like Bram. Some people do like Bram. We'll give it time. Yeah, I think even Coward. I think Magnus kicking ass I think this is the worst Magnus has ever been. I remember I saw Magnus's premiere live in the Impact Zone, and I just remember this guy fucking sucks. I just remember Jamie and James we were just burying him. James is a lot more positive than me. He's like, it's not that bad. And I remember, too, because I was like, oh, this guy fucking sucks. And I'm like, oh, I hope he fights someone good. And then James was like, I don't want him to fight someone good. And one of the Motor City Machine Gun guys came out, and James was just like, this is your fault. But, yeah, Magnus has improved so much. I think Magnus, before he won the title, or even Coward Magnus, any Magnus, this might be the worst. What is Magnus doing? He's a valet. Does he even fucking wrestle? Do you think Havoc will be big, or will she be another Lady Tapa? I worry about that. I worry about Lady Tapa, the alpha female, all that, because they're trying to recreate the Awesome Kong, and they failed. So they have failed, I believe. And I don't know why they failed. I don't know if there was problems in the back. She didn't get over the alpha female. I have no idea. It's just like, I'm here to destroy the world. Okay, I'm going to Japan. Fuck TNA. I don't know what happened. I think she didn't get the crowd reaction she wanted. I don't know. But yeah, same thing with Lady Tapa. But Lady Tapa sucked. Havoc can at least wrestle. So I worry about her because I think they're trying so hard to recreate Awesome, Amazing Kong. So, off topic. All right. Lennox Wooderson. Hindsight being 2020, should Reigns have joined the Authority instead of Rollins? I ask because Rollins and Ambrose seem to be more over than Reigns at this point. That's tough. That's a tough question. Good. I'll ask it on Stump the Idiot. I'm hoping to do Stump the Idiot tomorrow. Hindsight being 2020, should Reigns? No. I just think Roman Reigns is the next golden boy, and they're just going to go with it, and he's going to be punished for it. He's going to make a lot of money and be over, but just people are going to fucking hate him. But yeah, I'm okay with the Shield. I think the Shield is the only thing worth watching on the Raw, to be honest. But yeah, because they already chose him as the golden boy, and there you go. Now, I probably wouldn't have done anything different. I just wouldn't choose a golden boy. I hate the fact that WWE has a golden boy. That's one thing that I always loved about TNA and Ring of Honor and all that. There was never a golden boy. I mean, they've had long title runs, but not a golden boy like this. Lennox Wooderson says, big win for Impact. All right. Mr. The King says, I only don't like the dyke part. I love the thick part. Made me look her up on Twitter, LOL. Yeah, I don't know if she's a dyke. I mean, I don't know. What? To me, a dyke has to be a lesbian. Am I right? That's like a mean word for lesbian, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. I usually don't use the word dyke in my vocabulary. But I don't know. But yeah, she's okay. She's okay in my book. I wouldn't kick her out of bed for crackers. I Am Mikey says, one thing TNA is great at when scouting knockouts. Beautiful women that can work. Women pro wrest, save yourself, respect, and aim for TNA. Do not be a victim of the total diva machine. Gail, Taryn, Havoc are dynamite. And I kind of agree with that. I agree with that. The problem is that the big thing is that WWE hates pro wrestling, and WWE is basically a monopoly. And I know I'm saying this on Impact, and people are like, I'm not a monopoly. It's a monopoly. It's as close to a monopoly as you can get. And I wouldn't be shocked if one day there was a shoot interview. I'm like, oh, Vince has always owned Impact Wrestling. Wouldn't surprise me because it's just not different enough. So you have this, right? You have this problem, and then you have this new generation of America where all you give a fuck is about being rich. Like, not only being rich, that was like the 80s. Worshipping the rich. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if WWE makes money and the product sucks, you feel like a fucking winner. And that's just sad. It's just fucking sad on so many levels. I don't know. I feel bad for this generation in America and all because it's like, dude, why? Why worship the elite? Why? The odds are not in your favor. If you want to become the elite, oh, I completely understand. But to worship the elite? I don't fucking get that. Like, I'm not going to do anything with my life, but WWE makes a lot of money, so that makes me feel better inside. It's just, I honestly think that's what keeps WWE in business. I think there's enough fans that worship the elite. That's it. And that just makes me sad. It makes me fucking sad. I wish TNA was a young company so we could promote it and people fucking check it out. I wish, I don't know, I wish a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, what I really want is a good pro wrestling product that we all love and share. And Impact in New York City was amazing. Impact in England was amazing. Impact anywhere else, I'm sorry. You have to call it like it is. It's shit. So when they go to Pennsylvania, I'm very interested. I know they're losing a lot of talent for money issues. I know they have Spike TV and they have to impress. But Impact, with their back against the wall, has been a great, enjoyable product. But with that said, why hasn't it always been good? It's bullshit. Anyway, let's see. Any more new comments? If there's more new comments, we'll go. If not, I'll start plugging stuff, and then we'll go. Boop. All right, there we go. All right, well, we got a lot of new comments. Thank you, guys, for keeping the show going. I really appreciate it. I was a little down in the dumps, but, you know, all these live comments boost up my broken ego. I appreciate it. All right. Mikey Ashman says, oh, wait, he goes back. I am Mikey says, Smash Wrestling in Toronto will be hosting a women's pro wrestling tournament. Can USA Classic booked on the show. Amazing/awesome Kong. And can Captain Lufizzo, I probably mispronounced that, versus USA Captain Amazing Kong. You had me at Kong. I can't wait to see this. This stuff, I think if you're, the biggest problem with, not TNA, but all these other companies, especially even New Japan, you know, even New Japan, is that you have to get the product out there. You can't be like, we're awesome, pay us $50. The internet generation doesn't work like that. Give your shit away for free. Every pro wrestling company, from Smash Wrestling to New Japan to even Impact, please read Gary Vaynerchuk's jab, 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 right hook. I don't know how many jabs there are, but jab, 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 right hook. Please read that. If you are an indie promoter at any level, if you are a pro wrestling promoter at any level, and your name's not the McMahons, please read Gary Vaynerchuk's jab, 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 right hook. You have to get your product out there. I mean, it's so fucking stupid. And it's so funny because, like, people are like, you made a living being a wrestling promoter? I never heard of your company. Doesn't matter if you heard of my company. I made a living. Do you know why I made a living? Because I fucking knew how to market my shit. There's markets out there. There's overseas markets. Everything. I'm not picking on Smash Wrestling. I'm just picking on pro wrestling in general. Please learn how to get it out there. Like, I want this. I want to see this. And you want to make money. But you have to make it a reasonable price. You have to advertise it better. So I hope, if anything, homework assignment. If you're a wrestling promoter or ever want to be a wrestling promoter, please read the marketing book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. You have to. Clash of Kings. April Hunter has had a few matches in TNA, and from what I heard on YouTube channel, she said both WWE and TNA offered her contracts, but reason why she turned down WWE because at the time they wanted it to be a single for love storylines. At TNA, she turned down because she couldn't commit full time because she had some sort of back injury or something. That's a possibility. I don't know. I just know that April Hunter at one time was absolutely amazing. I don't know the whole story. I know some people are not big fans on April Hunter, especially other female wrestlers. I don't know if that's a thing of jealousy or what, but I think April Hunter, it shocks me that it's like, you know, there's so many talented wrestlers out there, and you're like, how the fuck did they make it? She's one of them. What are your thoughts on TNA taping post-pro PFG shows before BFG show even happens? Bound for Glory is talking about, I don't know. You have to stay away from spoilers. They have to fucking stop their Facebook. They have to be better at social media. Whoever their social media guy is, please get better at your job. Your social media sucks. But besides their social media sucking balls, I don't know. I'm sure if they had the option not to do that, they would. I just think that's, oh fuck, we're fucked. Make the best of it. But the only problem is that it scares me because I'm probably going to get Bound for Glory tickets, and that tells me there might not be any major title changes. But who knows? The X Division title, they fucked it up. I don't know. Hopefully TNA fixes their shit. But yeah. Dave, New Japan Pro Wrestling withdrew from the pay-per-view, so TNA is alone. Oh, okay. Well, that's good, I guess, for TNA. So I was actually looking. That kind of makes me sad because I was planning on going to both events in the same building. God damn you, New Japan. Don't be afraid of TNA. I don't know. I doubt they're afraid. That's fucking the most ridiculous thing that's ever come out of my mouth. Clash of the Kings. Alpha Female left TNA because she contractual stuff with Japan, so she couldn't stay longer in TNA. But good news is that Alpha Female said on her social media that she'll be coming back to TNA once her contract ends in Japan. Oh, that's good. She does some amazing stuff in Japan. The Japanese women wrestling fans think very highly of her. So hopefully she can come back. But yeah, if she comes back to TNA, it's just another great wrestler there. I think highly of Alpha Female. She's not going to put on 5-star matches, but she's still pretty damn good. And I am Mikey. Mike Ashford says, Bram, in my opinion, is taking advantage of his opportunity best way possible and has built his lunatic British brawler character. Now where TNA is fucking up is having Magnus step up the same level instead of building Bram so strong as a single performer he outshines Magnus. Bram and Magnus would be a solid tag team if Magnus was built a better mean streak, could be like the British Road Warriors. That's a positive way of looking at it. I do not look at it that way, but yeah. They have to do something because it was a great show, and that was definitely the weakest segment, weakest everything about it. So I like Magnus. I just don't see Bram as a star yet. And it's one of those things, I don't hate him, but at the same time, I'm like giving him the Fry squint. I'm like, why? Why are you getting this? What? People like you? Why? It's just it's not the level of hate. It's the level of head scratching. Why? Like, I don't see it. All right, you're on television. Show me. I don't see it. Okay, you know what I mean? It's like, show me something, you son of a gun. All right, let's see if any more new comments. Bam. Bam. Turn your volume up, and can you run down the show real quick? At the end, I just got off work, and that's from Brad Morgan. Sure, I'll do that for you. And as far as my volume goes, I don't know how to turn that up. Give me a second, I'm retarded. There you go. Hopefully that works. It's not too bad. Alright, so I turned up the volume best I can. Let's run down the show. It's going to be a little bit out of order, but here you go. Homicide beats Crazy Steve, DJ Z, Low Key, Manic, and Tigre Uno to become the #1 contender of the X Division. Bobby Roode defeated Eric Young to become the #1 contender to the TNA title. Bram and Magnus defeated Sam Shaw and Gunner. Gail Kim beat Taryn Terrell to retain the TNA Knockouts Championship, and probably the match of the night, match of the week, match of the month. A really great match. And Lashley defeated Samoa Joe in the main event. It was a pretty short match. They hid Lashley's pretty well. And then Spud was in a very comical match with Rhino and got the poo-poo beat out of him. So there's a quick rundown for you, Brad Morgan. Hope you enjoyed it. All right. And who is that? Is that Vicky Guerrero? What's your little picture of? Whoever it is. I think it's Vicky Guerrero with giant boobicles. I like it. All right, so hopefully that helps you, Brad, and hopefully I'm not too loud for everybody else. Any nuts, there you go. All right, so please check out Kocosports, KOCOsports.com or Kocosports.net. It takes you to the same place. It's where the world comes to get cash, your home for combat sports, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Will Brad Morgan be the last comment? Also, down in the comments, please put win, loss, or tie. Why am I screaming? Like one guy complained about the voice. And I'm like, what? Sorry. I hope it's not too loud for other people. But, yeah, please down in the comments put win, loss, or tie what you thought of tonight's show. I thought it was a huge win. Only, like, 1 or 2 bad things. And some of those bad things are really nitpicking. Brad Morgan also says, I think Vince would love to have Bram in WWE. He has that look. Magnus could be his Jannetty. LOL. I love Marty Jannetty. I always feel bad. I always feel bad for Marty Jannetty jokes. They make me laugh, and I feel worse. Marty Jannetty's a good guy. Poor Marty Jannetty. I don't know. I'm kind of a hypocritical asshole. I'm like, poor Marty Jannetty. Someone made a Marty Jannetty joke. I'm going to hell. Anyway, yeah, I will be back tomorrow. We will be doing an NXT review, and as I'm hoping to do a huge Q&A thing, so please leave Stump the Idiot questions. You can use on Twitter at Kocosports, hashtag Stump the Idiot. Only Wrestling Ranting is the only one that used that hashtag. Can you trend if you begged one guy to use a hashtag? Trending with one person used hashtag Stump the Idiot. I'm retarded. Anyway, yeah, so we'll do a Q&A questions probably tomorrow. I'll try to get Boom or another co-host to help me with that, and I will be doing an NXT review. All right. Any more live questions, or are we wrapping this bad boy up? Bam. Bam. That's it. Brad Morgan, we're leaving with your Marty Jannetty joke. That's what we're leaving out on. Anything after Brad Morgan's Marty Jannetty joke will be answered either in the comments another time, or I'll completely forget, and I'll apologize in advance. Anyway, check out Kocosports.com or Kocosports.net. Jerry and the gang has been working really hard. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, and with that, I am over.